up, guys? It's Destry. I'm here in Willamette Valley, Oregon, Zone 8B. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I like to hang out in my Oregon yard. If you have been here for a while, then thanks for hanging with me. I'm going to be taking you around the yard today and doing a quick tour for the end of the month of February. It's actually the last day of February, and I have some things blooming. I also have some freezing temperatures coming and some big projects that are taking place. So let me take you around the yard and I will share with you what's new. So last night I was asleep in bed and I heard the wind just whipping. The rain was hitting the windows, and so we did have a storm come through last night. Woke up this morning and I kid you not, it was snowing. There was big fluffy flakes of snow coming down, and it wasn't sticking or anything, but it was cold enough that that rain was turning into slush. And so I drove to work in the slush and I thought, what in the world? Now, my husband accused me of falling for what's called the Oregon false spring. I don't know if this happens where you live, but all of a sudden the daffodils are popping and like things are warm for a couple days, or not even warm, but just sunny, and you're just so ready for spring and you're like convinced it's spring, and then it snows the next morning. So I have to say it's been a little bit of a whirlwind this February, but I do have some things blooming, and I do have some really big changes that have happened in the month of February. So to honor that, I wanted to just go around the yard real quick today and show you some highlights of what's happening in my Oregon yard. All right, friends, so here is one of the big, can I say big, developments here in my little side yard. You can see up there on the hill, we have some snow and some pretty low elevations and some pretty ominous looking clouds as well. Anyway, my Vigo garden beds. So these got installed this month, and even though I'm still working on filling them to the brim because it is a lot of dirt and other kind of materials we're putting in there, I am still working on that, but I'm very excited. I'm not entirely sure, but I think that this is all going to be cut flowers this year. So that's kind of my plan for this area. A couple other things that are new are right over here. Well, old and new. So these are my old garden beds that have been here for probably, I don't even know, 10 years maybe a little bit less, but you can see we are building new ones, and so look how pretty they are, you guys. I am so excited. So there will be a third one of these to go here, and how you see them is how they're going to lay out. So there's going to be a third one here, and then my plan is to do either an archway or a pergola in between both beds. So I'm not sure if it's going to be more of a square shape or if it's going to be kind of more of a trellis, more of an arch shape. So stay tuned to find out what we decide. It does seem kind of different that these are really tall, but the design of them is intentional. So we have dogs that are running through the garden beds. So my plan here is to actually put some sort of barrier. I hate the idea of like a fence, but either some, mesh netting or something you can see through to kind of help the dogs stay out. Now, once these get established with plants, the dogs tend to stay out of them. But, while they're developing and when I've got little seedlings in there, I really want to make sure that they're staying safe. We also put these little caps on the top to help with, kind of erosion and rotting, and that seems to work really well, and it's aesthetic as well. It looks good. It looks nice. So you can see we still have some work to do over here to get rid of the old beds, but let me show you a couple other fun things. So over here, I've got a couple, plants in here that are doing pretty well. These are all pansies, and they're starting to wake up. So these ones have overwintered. They were in my greenhouse for a while, but they are kind of hanging on, and you can see I've got some buds forming, and so I have no doubt that these are going to be popping as long as we get a few more warm days. My little basket here is looking really good. I'm super excited and happy with how those primroses are doing. They're just holding on really well and reblooming. I've been grooming them and deadheading them. Also, my raspberries are starting to wake up just a little bit. Now, I didn't trim these back this year because when I trimmed them this time 2 years ago, I got no berries. So tell me in the comments if you know, is that considered an everberry? I know there's different kinds of raspberries. I don't know a ton about them yet, but I do know that I want to pot this one up into a bigger pot so that I have, you know, 2 and maybe even get a 3rd raspberry bush this year. This is some mint, and you can see it's also starting to wake up. This is a peppermint plant that, again, in a pot so that it doesn't spread. All right, guys, so over to this area, I've got my hellebores, and they are just going to town. They look so beautiful. You can see these are some of the older blooms, but it's still pushing fresh buds, and it's looking so pretty. I did also groom up all of my, oh my gosh, I'm blanking, you guys. I'll put it on the name on the screen, and I'll probably think of it in a minute. But look, they're pushing new growth as well. So I cleaned up a lot of the old foliage around here to kind of make room for those, and I'll show you a couple more of those in a minute. Here's more hellebores just living their best life in this cold, cold weather. Well, it hasn't been that cold, like I said, until this morning, or kind of last night. Check out, I've got new growth on my boxwood topiaries. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of those boxwood topiaries, and all of them have fresh green growth. So I'm super excited about those. Another hellebore here, and I do have them trellised or kind of caged because of my dog situation. My dogs are just not very well trained to stay out of flower beds. They're still puppies. Or at least that's what I'm telling myself is the reason. This one's gorgeous. And then here in the ground, I've got a bunch of pansies and violas. So I'm excited to see what those do. Over here, I've got a fern that I just trimmed up some of the old leaves, but it actually overwintered. Like, it didn't die all the way back to the ground. So I was kind of, you know, I thought that was pretty cool that it is doing well over here. This one, I'll have to find the name of this one, you guys. It is an evergreen. I love the leaf structure of it. I planted it I planted it in my winter garden, and then I heard that it was, you know, cold tolerant and all that, and it has been green all through the ice storm, everything. And it's also an herb. So let me find the name of it. I'll try to pop it on the screen for you. I've got some Daphne that's blooming. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at that. And it smells so amazing. So a lot of Daphne I've seen has like a little bit lighter blooms. See, I don't think these are totally open yet, huh? Yeah, they're still open. You can see how wet everything is. So here's the tag for this one, actually. So it's a variegated winter Daphne. Anyway, it smells amazing. It's got a ton more buds on it. It's just going to open up here any minute and do its thing as long as this weather cooperates with us. So more of these. Look at this color. Look at this color coming out. I mean, it's just so exciting. Look at here's an old leaf. And like I said, I groomed most of those. I need to get in here and fertilize it when it gets a little bit warmer. Here's another one coming up. Here's another one and another one. So I've got kind of a red, orange, purple, kind of a red. I think that one and that one are the same kind, but I'll have to look back and see in my notes. And my Jacob's ladder is coming back. So it kind of died back, and now it's doing its thing and coming back and pushing fresh growth. So that's super exciting. I've got these ones here oh my gosh, I'm also forgetting the name of these ones. I gotta like make some notes before I do this video, but they're coming back. They're coming back here and here. I've got more pansies and violas through here. And I do have one little bud that looks like it's been chewed pretty much, but again, they're gonna come back. So these ones were the like Halloween blend or something. So I think they're gonna be like purple and yellow and orange. I'm not really sure. I've got a fern, a little stub of a fern there. And a couple more of these. Now this one I noticed is kind of getting eaten by something. It had some holes and stuff in it. So I trimmed it really way back and I sprayed it with a little bit of neem oil. I'm not sure if it's the proper thing to spray. That one's coming back. Oh, this one. Brunnera is coming back, you guys. It's looking so good. And then I've got another little fern there. Let's see what else. I know it's like a lot of dirt right now because not everything's blooming, but I do have 2 fuchsias here. And then look at this. Look at this. Is this just gorgeous color for this time? It's so pretty. Look at that leaf. Look at that leaf. They're absolutely beautiful. And then I've got 2 more purple ones here. So those do really well for me. And I can't believe I'm forgetting the name. You guys, what are they called? Heuchera. Heucherella. And I do have a bunch of them. I really love this one. I think this is a Proven Winners one. I gotta look and see and try to get some more of those because I love them. All right, we're gonna move on over to here. This might be a little bit of a longer video today, so I apologize, but these are all my tulips. And I'm a little concerned because it is gonna get down into the 30s tonight. And so I'm trying to decide if I need to cover them. So I put a post in the like gardener Facebook group that I'm in here in where I live. And I'm waiting for a reply to see, you know, are they gonna be pretty cold hardy or do I need to cover? So I'm not sure on those. These ones are, I'll move this for now. My dogs are not out here right now, but these are all daffodils. I'm not sure what variety, but they're looking so sweet. I've got another Shasta daisy here, a Shasta daisy over there. And then check this out, you guys. My peonies is alive and well, and it's gonna come up, and I'm so excited. So it's so funny how like gardeners, if you're watching this video and you're a gardener or a gardener, you could probably see what I'm talking about when it's like so exciting, things come back. And for the people that aren't, they're probably like, why are you so excited? It's just a little green thing sticking out of the ground. But if you know, you know. My Japanese maple, it's just the signs of life. It's just the little signs of life that's like, you know, spring's gonna come. It's gonna come. Got more daffodils over here. And another, let's see, I've got another peony back in here. I've got 2. So this one's just peeking out. See that red? And then this one, I gotta get my peony cages on these because they do need some support. And then this one back here, I planted in the fall, and it is a star jasmine. And I'm not sure how it did. I'm not sure if I need to trim it. It seems a little sad. So I'm not sure about that guy, if he's gonna stay or how he's gonna do. I gotta be careful walking through here. I don't wanna walk on any bulbs. Okay, so next I'm gonna show you, this is my hydrangea. It's not doing much yet. I'm gonna show you my other part of my garden. You had me at springtime. You guys, look at my Vigo garden bed. It is so happy. It makes me so happy. And just this row of hyacinth, you guys, it smells so good. Look at these daffs. I mean, aren't they just everything? They're so sweet. I've got a Midnight here. He's pretty sweet too. But yeah, so the hyacinth and the daffs are definitely putting on a show. They're so beautiful. So I was thinking about coming out here and cutting a few of these because some of these actually have 2, you know, bloom heads on one plant. And I would like to have a few in a vase just to like enjoy them. But I believe this was one of the bags from Costco, and it did really, really well. So I'm not sure if I'm going to dig those up and move them, you know, kind of later in the summer or in the spring, or if I might just leave them there and kind of have that be a perennial bed. I do have 3 little cypress trees, and I want to get some terracotta or some other pots for these. I'm kind of waiting for the right thing to come along. And then I did plant some peas. So I got these trellises. I was shopping with a friend and found them, and they're nice and tall. And then you just, you know, accordion them out however wide you want them. And I did plant my sweet peas in here. So these are early blooming spring sweet peas. This one is the Alaska Early. I can't read my own writing. Alaska Early. So again, you can put it in the ground. The ground is supposed to be around 50 degrees. So I'm kind of bummed we're having this cold snap, but it's not going to hurt anything, I don't think. I think that they will just lie dormant until it's time. And then both of these Vigos are going to be all peas. They're going to be all peas for eating, I should say. So they're not sweet pea flowers. Let me correct myself. They're peas for eating. They're shelling peas. The early, like sweet, I said sweet, but I meant like they taste really sweet. You guys look back here. I've got some beautiful, you know, kind of borrowed plants. It's too hard to see with the sun, but they're all blooming pink I've got pink blooms here. Just borrowing this from the other side of the yard. Nothing here yet. More to come in this space. See, this is what my dogs do. They dig holes. It's really annoying. This bed is just waking up as well, and I know I have all my funky yard art here, and that won't stay. I'll probably either, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I kind of like having yard art and kind of an eclectic vibe, but then again, when I have it all in one space, it starts to look a little cluttered for me. So I don't know, tell me in the comments what you think. What are you, team yard art or team not? Okay, you guys, I've got some things waking up here. Mostly what I'm excited about are these, because these are alliums, and they're the ones that are the big globe alliums, the purple, like they look like Dr. Seuss plants. I've got more of them here, and last year they put on the most beautiful show over here, so I'm super excited. I have some cat's mint here that's kind of coming back, and more Shasta daisies. And then these are the 2 roses I bought recently, and they're already starting to, you know, show some signs of growth. This one is the Cherry Parfait. So pretty. Rounded habit. I don't think that's necessarily what they call cutting rose. I think this one is, or maybe it's vice versa. Blue Girl. So pretty. So I'm not sure where I'm going to plant those up yet. So more to come on that. I know it doesn't look like much because I didn't record it, but this area has come a long way as well. I flip-flopped where I had my little potting bench that my husband made me many years ago. It's the one that I don't care if it gets wet or moldy or dirty. It's just, it is what it is. And then I have my metal rack, and I put plants here more in the summertime. Anyway, I did a lot of cleanup of this area, and it looks way better than it did. I have a couple things up here. This is a vine. Actually, I should put this back in the greenhouse tonight. I better do that. This is a wire vine, which I'm overwintering, but it keeps getting aphids. And so I've noticed if I set it outside for a couple days, it kind of gets cold enough where it kind of kills the aphids, and then I'll like bring it back inside, and then I'll find more aphids. So I tried that with another one, and it worked. So I'm going to do that, but I need to put it inside tonight because it is supposed to get close to freezing, and I don't want it to freeze. This is my topiary ivy, which can survive outside for me and has done pretty well. And it's kind of protected in this little, plant stand over here. And then on my greenhouse, kind of porch bib here, I have more daffs that are just about there. Well, they need some warm days. They need more warm days. I have a dead house plant because I wouldn't be a real gardener or houseplant lover if I didn't have at least one that was dead sitting in a pot somewhere. But I need to, my goal is to get it out of that pot, and I need to, it was like a, don't forget to do this. Okay. Over here, I've got more tulips. These are 3 allium bulbs, more tulips, more daffs, I think. I've got a really meowy cat who thinks he wants to be part of this video. So thank you for bearing with me. Oh, this is the rain gauge my son got. Oops, it kind of came. Uh-oh. We were trying to collect rain in the rain gauge. Okay, no one say anything, and I'll just get the hose and fill it up, okay? Because it got knocked over. Shoot. Anyway, this was the rain gauge my son got me for Christmas, and it was probably already filled up because it has been so rainy, but now I just spilled it, or it must have spilled. I don't know. All right, moving right along to my garden. I've got, in this bed, I've got potatoes and onions, nothing that exciting. This bed has nothing. It's going to be where my pumpkins and squash are. And then this is all my garlic. And then back in the back, I've got my strawberry containers. And they're looking good. So far, so good. Not much growth yet. Not much happening in this bed yet, except my poor, sad, broken, beautiful Japanese maple that died in the ice storm. And nothing that pretty until we get to here. And look at these, you guys. These are another of the bags from Costco. But what I love about these is that in my area, these should naturalize back in here and just, keep filling in and filling in and filling in. And then in front of those, I've got my 2 hydrangeas, but it's just this beautiful, just pop of color back there. And I think also, depending on what happens with the hydrangeas, I don't know if I need, I had this trellis kind of back here as a focal point, and I'll probably move that back. I just had it to block the the bulbs. But yeah, I think I'm just going to put that trellis back or maybe get a bigger one. I don't know. These are more alliums. These are like little baby alliums. I think they're called like, I forget, drumstick alliums. Are drumsticks the big ones or the little ones? I don't know. But they're coming up and they're looking really good. I've got a rosemary here tucked into the corner and my blue, I believe it's a blue spruce back here, and it's looking good. And then that brings me to the work zone, which is where my husband is working on staining these garden beds and constructing them for me. So it's a bit of a hot mess right now, but you know what? If this is going to be the result, then I will take a hot mess. So let's walk over here and see what else there is. So over here in this little focal point of my yard, I've got some daffodils coming up. And these are ones I planted over a series of years. I noticed I have some that are like the teeny tinies, the little bell ones. They're so cute. And then I have some that are bigger. I have some from last year. Some are ones I planted this fall. And then I also have tulips. Now the tulips are new in this bed. So all the tulips that are gonna pop, so you can see them. And they're pretty close. Some of these are pretty close together. All those tulips are new, and I put those in this fall, so I'm excited to see what they do. The blueberries are all pruned and looking really good, and they are just going to be exploding with growth. I just love this spring. And then my pot back here, it's hard to see it, but it has an evergreen in it, and then my daffodils are starting to bloom, so you can see little pops of yellow there. I'm sorry, yeah, daffodils, not daffodils. Pansies, sorry. But I believe that is what's the evergreen, you guys? I'm trying to think. I will think of it. Arborvitae. I think it's an arborvitae. So anyway, this little vista is looking really pretty through here. Okay guys, I moved out to the front yard and I wanted to show you my forsythia that is putting on quite a show. I was able to force some branches inside and they were really fun to enjoy in a vase. But I mean, just look at this pop of color. If you don't have a forsythia in your yard or your garden, I would highly recommend. I mean, it's one of the first things to bloom and it's just really stunning. And over here in my side yard, I have some fun things going on. I have more alliums that are coming up, these little bulbs. And I have a lot of weeds, but I do have some alliums popping. So it's really fun to see. This is a yarrow that's coming back for me and it's doing really good. So I'm excited to have that come back. I've got some sedum here that's doing its thing and it's looking nice. I think it'll return and be healthy. You know, a lot of these plants, a little lavender, a lot of these plants I just put in last year. So it's kind of like, I didn't know if they would survive, you know, one of our winters. And so same with the bulbs. It's like you put them in and you're like, are they really going to grow? But when you see them starting to push growth, it's just really exciting. This is our pear tree and it's looking alive. It's not doing much yet, but it's looking alive. This is a hydrangea. This is one of those like purpley hydrangeas. My rose is looking amazing. This is a little red kind of shrub rose. And I just pruned it back and it just started to pop. I've got some bunches of daylilies and what else? Oh, I've got a smoke bush over here that is starting to show some signs of life. It's going to be so pretty. It has this dark purple leaves and the white flowers. And then this one is also has a little bit of growth on it. So things are alive and well out here, including the weeds. This is the apple tree. Look at that. It's got little babies, little babies. So exciting. Thought I'd show you guys the sky right now. Like, it's so ominous and the wind is picking up and it's cold and it's a bummer because I thought it was spring. This is my bungleweed and it is such a pretty little pop of purple, especially under these trees because it's kind of like a woodland area right here and it's hard to get things to grow that are not going to be competing with all of the big roots that are in this area. There's also a water main here, so I have to be really careful about what I plant in this area. So this little bungleweed ground cover has done really well for me, and I love the color, and it's doing good. I've got some muscari coming up, little baby muscaris. I have a love-hate relationship with these because they're so beautiful when they bloom, but then when they die, they look like weeds. And they're all just like, I don't know. So anyway, more alliums. You can see I kind of did like groups of 2 and 3 with the alliums. So when these pop up, they will be these purple globes in like little clumps around. Here's another one here. There's another one up there. So I'm excited to see how that does. My lavender is looking pretty good. I think I was watching one of Laura's videos about, you know, trimming back your lavender, and I was thinking about coming out here and giving it a haircut. I think that might rejuvenate it a little bit. This is another ground cover that does really well in the spring, but I don't think it's quite awake yet. There's another pop of allium right there. And then this is another one of the bungle weeds that's still doing good, but it's not so much of a clump. I feel like it's, I don't know, maybe this will be its year to really show its thing. Got another lavender here that I did trim back, but I feel like I need to come in and, you know, maybe trim some of these. Actually, I didn't trim this one back. I just like deadheaded it basically last fall. So I might need to come in and do a little trimming on that one. And then 2 more alliums there. Now these bushes are pretty common. I feel like they were common in like the 90s for people to plant for like landscaping, and they actually are really pretty, but this is what they look like all winter. It's kind of a bummer. They get these, at least for me, because we've got a pine tree right here. So all these pine needles just fall, and it doesn't look that great. But I'll tell you what, I'll shoot a video of me raking these. So every year I come out here and rake the heck out of them. And when they do push new growth in the spring, it's all like really beautiful green, and they actually are really pretty. So I do like them, even though, you know, I've thought about like taking some of it out, because I think these used to be like individual clumps, and now they're just like this mass. But whatever. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's starting to rain. Okay, let's finish up here. So we've got some clumps of Shasta daisies, some clumps of daylilies. Everybody is alive. You can see how I planted them in kind of a semicircle here. And oh my, the rain is coming. Okay, I'm gonna try to quickly finish up. My little arborvitae magic balls are doing good. I'm gonna put my hood up. And then these are all tulips. These ones got a little burnt from the ice storm, I think. So I'm a little concerned. Tell me in the comments, do you think that they're gonna bounce back? I sure hope so. I don't think I planted them quite deep enough, because look at this. I can see, I think if they would have been deeper and I had better mulch, then they would have fared better in that ice storm that we had, but I don't know. We'll see. I've got a couple primroses up in here. These ones are doing pretty good. And then these are just the ones I had that are, they're like carnations or whatever. I don't know if they're going to rebloom or not. I might just pull them out of there, but I just stuck them in there to see if they would bloom again. And then more bulbs in this area. I did clean this up the other day. I've got a ground cover in here that's really pretty blue, but it was kind of overgrown and, you know, from last year. So you can see I've got some bulbs coming up. I've got daffodils and tulips in this bed. And then I have that ground cover. And then up in here, more daffodils and tulips. I put a lot of tulips in this year. I went to the tulip festival that's near our home, and I got a lot of tulips. And I do have these pots that I did up. So I did these in the fall with spring blooming bulbs. Here, I'll go show you the other one. And they all came up, and they're looking beautiful. But I did put them a little closer to the house tonight because I'm a little concerned about the weather. So they got snow on them this morning, so I decided to tuck them up by the house a bit. I made this in a recent video, and it's just looking really good, although I might need to give it some water. I'm gonna deadhead that one, but these little purple pansies are doing their thing. Okay, you know I have to deadhead it. I can't just leave it alone, but look at these guys. They're like, hello, it's spring. It's gonna snow now. Oh my gosh, this weather doesn't know what's up and what is happening. Over here, a couple more daffs. And this is why I want to get out here and make a bouquet, because poor little guy, he's He's had some weather. I've got daylilies coming up, a bunch more tulips. We need to drain the fountain, but we'll get there. And this is my honeysuckle. My husband built this arch for me right when we moved in, and we've really enjoyed having the honeysuckle there. And the blueberry patch, which I did some fertilizing of not too long ago, and I did some pruning, and they're just coming to life. And my phone is getting really, really wet, so I'm gonna have to stop this video and go into the greenhouse where I'm dry, or I could be dry. It's kind of a working part of my yard, but believe it or not, I did go through this and clean it the other day, and this is the base for the beehive. So more coming on that. We are gonna be doing a beehive this year. My husband will be doing it, and I will be helping, and so be sure to stay tuned for some beehive videos. And I'm gonna go in the warm greenhouse now because it's cold and wet. Oh my gosh. It's like this little oasis in here. Y'all, my hands are like frozen. It's cold. It's cold. It's like gonna be 30. It's warm in here, but you hear the rain? Oh my gosh. Well, since I'm in here, I'll show you what I got going on in here too. So let me flip the camera around. Okay, so this is my potting bench currently. And please ignore my garbage bag, but I have to say it's pretty great. I did get some of these the other day at the nursery, and I'm really glad I did not plant them outside. I'm really glad I kept them here. Look at this primrose, you guys. I mean, it's like this peachy yellow deliciousness. Oh, so gorgeous. Hello, baby. Anyway, I'm very glad I did not plant these outside because this weather would not have been good for them at all. What's this one called? It doesn't say. It just says a mix. Anyway, that's what's going on here. Oh my gosh, you guys, this rain is insane. Got a couple more down here. So, looks really springy over here. Let's see. This is what I've got going on here. So I do have my little table and my little seat because I like to sit in here sometimes. And yeah, everything's looking pretty good. Nothing too exciting. I did do a really quick, I filmed really quickly doing this topiary the other day, and I repotted that guy, and then I did repot my olive tree right here into this bigger pot. So I need to put some more rocks on this guy, but I think he's a little happier in that pot. Because what happens in the greenhouse stays in the greenhouse. Anyway, over here I've got a few houseplants, and these are the succulents, if you have been following my channel, that I planted way in for Christmas in that little Christmas sleigh, and then I replanted them. Oh wait, I guess I first planted them for the like a jack-o'-lantern thing in the fall. Oh my gosh, you guys, this rain. Anyway, they've been around and they're doing good. And I have them in my little planter that says PlantMom. I don't know if you can see it. PlantMom. Anyway, this is what I got going on here. Got some stuff going on here. Got my insulation. I've got this guy. Oh, so pretty. I love it so much. Geranium. I've had that one for the longest time, a couple years now. Another geranium. I'm having a love affair with geraniums right now. This is my poinsettia. I decided I was going to try to keep it. My Japanese maples have woken up from their slumber, except for maybe you. You might need a little help. But you can see where I've trained some of their stems. These are my little topiary, or not topiary, my little bonsai adventure here with my Japanese maples. And all my succulents are looking great. My little fairy garden here is looking good. These guys are bringing me some joy. I mean, come on. Except for you. I don't know what your problem is. This was a houseplant fern, and I have not figured you out yet. Anyway, all the succulents are beautiful. My Japanese maples, and then This is my lemon tree. I actually harvested all the lemons and I'm thinking about repotting. So do you guys know anything about lemon trees? Tell me in the comments. For one thing, I didn't realize they had giant thorns. So you got to be kind of careful, but it's starting to yellow and it doesn't look very happy. I think I need to fertilize it. I harvested all the fruit because I thought maybe that's why it was mad at me. Another geranium. My aloe. He's a little unhappy in the wintertime anyway. He wants to be in the warmth. And then a few more Japanese maples. So the bigger ones are 2 years old, and then these ones are only a year old. And then just a few more plants I'm trying to overwinter over here. This has been my main like seed starting area. So I have all my kind of seed starting mix here. And then I do have a camera set up here. So I've been filming some videos for you, which has been kind of fun. And then I'll show you too, these have been such a good thing. These are so handy. So they're just on wheels and I can just roll them out and scoop out my dirt. So I have seed starting mix in one and I have just my regular potting mix in the other. And then this is kind of my, my workbench. So it always looks a little bit crazy. My little table fell over. I'm not sure why, probably because I bumped it. Anyway, so workstation, I've got my soil, kind of doing my potting over here, leaving that area as just something to, when I first walked in, to just like make me smile and make me happy. So the greenhouse, got some seeds. I'm trying some of these right now. I'm doing, which ones did I start? I did toss some allium seeds out last fall. I started some of these, the campanula. I've got some of those. I'm going to try sowing some of the seeds I did collect from last year. Anyway, I digress. See how this works? I just start blabbing on. But anyway, here's the greenhouse. At least in here, it's not raining and pouring on me, and it's, green and warm and happy. Oh my gosh, my nose is running and it's cold. Thanks for hanging out and checking out my end of February, beginning of March tour here in Oregon. Man, if this isn't an Oregon spring, I don't know what is. And it's frustrating sometimes, but I also have to remember that this happens every year where we get this little like window of gorgeousness and sunshine and warmth, and then one more big storm, and then hopefully we'll be on the other side of it. So right now I'm in the big storm. Well, not big storm, but I'm in the wet and the cold and the little cold snap. So fingers crossed that this doesn't last too long and I can get back out into my yard and my garden soon. So anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out with me.